tell you what, this is the most frustrating thing in my life right now, is this damn GoPro problem. Well, I don't know what point that cut off, but I was looking down at it all the way over here, saw the red light blinking. I just noticed that it lost connection to the camera. It's like the camera reset. The camera stopped recording. The remote showed it was still recording, but it wasn't. Anyway, I'm not going to go through everything I talked about because I have no idea at what point I stopped. Got some good scrubbing in here, so got confidence in the tires. Little report on the stock ones. I got them changed out at 6,500 miles. And I'll tell you what, the last just few hundred miles, they went downhill really quick. They still looked decent, but they just started handling so sketchy. I was feeling that flat spot, especially in the front, especially in the turn-in. But what did it for me was the other day I was coming home from Tampa and I got caught in a huge rainstorm. So I was coming home in the wet and I had no confidence in those tires. I mean, it just didn't feel like it wanted to turn. But now that I've got new tires on, and it really doesn't matter what brand you put on, as soon as you put on new tires, it feels like a brand new bike, boy. It's smooth, it's flickable. I mean, you've got a perfectly round tire. Feels absolutely wonderful. I'm really hoping these tires, which are, now I don't know if it's Michelin or Michelin. I hear it pronounced both ways. I hear it on TV pronounced Michelin, but then everyone overseas calls it Michelin. And it is a French company, so I'm kind of leaning towards the overseas pronunciation being correct. But anyway, they're Pilot Road 4 GTs, PR4GTs, which are designed for heavier sport touring bikes. They have a harder rubber compound in the center third to give better mileage, but still excellent performance. Of course, compared to the old ones, they feel absolutely fantastic. But you know what? The old ones, when they were brand new, they felt fantastic as well. I love those tires. At least for the first 5,000 miles, they were really excellent. Great grip. Turn-in was great. I had no problems with vibration until about 5,000 miles. Beyond that, I did have some head shake. If I were to take my hands off the bars, it would start to do that a little bit. But that didn't start, like I said, till about 5,000 miles. And for stock tires, you really can't complain about that. But the balance on these feels good. Actually, I want to do a little bit of a high-speed run here real quick, just to verify, catch up to that truck. Very good. Absolutely no vibration. So they did do a good job on the balance. That's really the only thing they can screw up putting on tires. And I've gone through a lot of issue with tire shops, not with motorcycles, but with cars, specifically my Mini Cooper, and I went through a lot of tires with a Mini Cooper. I had the 2005 Mini Cooper S. I must have gone through at least 10 sets of tires in the life of that car, and that's completely normal. It has a very aggressive suspension, and I did prefer high performance tires, which means very sticky and very low life. So I was replacing tires pretty much the same as a motorcycle, every 4,000 to 5,000 miles. That was fine with me. I loved the performance and the grip you got out of them. However, it was really hard to find places that could balance them very well because it was a hub-centric wheel design, and most shops just don't deal with that very well. I ended up finding a guy, his name was Pit Crew Tire. He's a mobile tech. He's a fireman, and on his off days he goes around in this really badass truck and he does mobile tire swaps and balances and all that kind of stuff. And he just did an absolutely fantastic job. He catered towards exotic cars, so he didn't have any problem with balancing at high speed. He used nitrogen. You know, he just did a perfect job every time. He was a little more expensive, but it was well worth it to get it done right the first time. I have no problem paying for something if it costs a little bit extra and I know that it's done right. It's worth it to me, because if I'm going to save a little bit and I have to go back, I've just wasted all that time, and time is my most valuable asset. Don't really care about saving the buck, I care about saving the time. So if you ever have car tire needs anywhere in the Tampa area, look him up. Just Google for Pit Crew Tire. I'm sure he's on Facebook. I think that's his website too, pitcrewtire.com, but Google it just to be sure. If you buy the tires from him, he really does have great prices. He would match the best deal I could find and just pick them up from a local warehouse, deliver them. He could do your work in your driveway or your place of business. That was the other really cool thing. I didn't have to worry about wasting time going to a shop. Again, really convenient. And he's got, I mean, absolutely the best setup you can imagine. What he does is he's got these pneumatic airbags that he tosses under the car and then just fires up his compressor to him, and it instantly lifts the car right off the ground on airbags, just like his fireman tools. So that's how he jacks up your car to work on it. And he's got every tool in his truck. His balancing machine is the, what was it? I think it was called the Roadmaster. Whatever, the big, bad electronic one that can do, you know, high-speed balancing, not just static, not just 55 miles an hour. Because like I said, he caters to all the exotic cars around here. And he can do any size, too. And he's got a nitrogen generator right on the top, which is nice. He doesn't charge extra for it. And if you don't know about nitrogen, the biggest benefit to it is, well, it's two things. One, the molecules of nitrogen are large and they don't penetrate the rubber in your tires. So they don't deflate over time like regular air does. The other benefit is it doesn't change density under normal operating temperatures like air does. You ever notice with your tires you have to check them and fill them cold? That's because when you run your vehicle on the road, the tires heat up, the air inside gets hot and it expands, and all of a sudden you've got sometimes 3 or 4 more PSI in your tires, hot. Well, nitrogen doesn't do that. So you don't have to worry about your performance changing based on your tire temp. Again, taking it easy on this curve. That's the kind of curve that you want to scrub your tires in, or this here. If there wasn't any traffic, I'd be going a little faster so I could lean over a little bit. I'm purposely not leaning my body, so I have to lean the bike a little bit more just to accelerate that, so I can get a little more scrubbing action. Alright. Oh, and I totally forgot to throw up the pictures from the landscaping shoot. I meant to do that in the last video because I screwed up on the video where I did that shoot. What happens is, in my editing software, because of the beta software I use to render, if you have still images without any motion, it screws up on them and it just throws them up for a fraction of a second instead of, 4 or 5 seconds or whatever you stretch them to. So I just have to give each one a little bit of motion. It just has to be 1 pixel and then it'll display them normally. Well, I forgot to do that, so of course all those pictures flew by and you guys didn't get to see any of them. So I will throw those up at the end of this video so you can see the results of that shoot last week. Anyway, I am now off to the DMV. I'm going to run up there and get the new tags for my car and my bike. Oh, hey, before I go, I just remembered something really cool. I just had my first company contact me out of the blue wanting me to review a product. I knew that that would happen eventually. The same thing happened with my cigar channel pretty quickly. But this is a company that does velocity-dependent brake lights. And it's a license plate frame. And it'll bring on lights around the license plate even if you're downshifting or engine braking. It's not tied into your brake lights. So that should be here within a couple days. And they contacted me and asked me if I would like to review it. They saw my other review videos I said, absolutely. So if there's something else out there that you would like reviewed, maybe you don't know if you're interested in it, or you've got questions about it, or you want to see what I think about it, you want to see what it looks like or performs like on the bike first, whatever, just contact the company, shoot them over my website, say, hey, this guy does awesome reviews, you should send him a product because we'd really like to see a video review of your product, and I will be happy to do so. Now, odds are I'm not going to keep the products because frankly the bike is like exactly like I want it right now. So this stuff is just going to be giveaway prizes. I'm going to start having regular contests on the site. I've got enough viewers. We're up to like 3,600 subscribers, something like that. So it's a decent start, and it's a big enough number where I can start doing regular giveaways and contests like I do on my other channels. So that is very cool. Anyway, that's it. Carry on. that'll be that for the day, and then it's back to work. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, give me a thumbs up. check out the site TwoWheelObsession.com, and we'll see you next time. Don't forget about the Facebook group if you are an FJR enthusiast. Just search for FJR 1300 enthusiasts. See you next time.